The morning begins gently, as most mornings do in the Shire. The world feels hushed, suspended in the pale light before the sun lifts fully above the hills. You stand just outside your round green door, basket in hand, the air still cool enough that your breath rises faintly in front of you. The grass glistens with dew, and the soft scent of wet earth rises as you take your first steps along the narrow lane that winds past your gate. The sound of distant water reaches your ears, the quiet murmur of the water, running slow and lazy through Hobbiton's heart. Above you, a thrush calls once, twice, then falls silent, leaving only the faint rustle of leaves. Today's errand is a simple one. You're bound for Woody Green, the small forest beyond Bywater Hill, to find mushrooms. There's a patch there known to yield the finest kind, thick and tender, with pale undersides and that earthy fragrance that clings to your hands long after they've been cleaned. You carry a small knife tucked beside your basket and a cloth to wrap the delicate ones. The path bends downward, then rises again through meadows that ripple under the breeze. Your feet leave faint impressions in the damp grass. The air smells faintly of clover, and now and then you brush against tall stalks crowned with early blossoms. It's the kind of morning that seems to unfold rather than begin, slow and kind, every moment stitched to the next by quiet purpose. You glance back once, your smile half hidden by the hill, the round door catching a glimmer of light. Then you face forward again, toward the line of trees in the distance where the fields give way to green shade. There's no rush in your step. After all, the mushrooms will wait. The lane narrows as it winds out of Hobbiton, bordered now by tall hedges, heavy with dew. Spiderwebs glint between the branches like threads of glass. Somewhere ahead, a skylark sings, its voice spiraling higher until it becomes one with the morning air. You take a small turnoff you know well, a path only hobbits use, its edges softened by years of quiet passing. Here the world feels gentler, the grass grows longer and the scent of wild mint drifts from the verges. You pause beside a tangle of bramble bushes and spot the first treasure of the morning, berries, plump and dark, shining faintly with dew. You pick a few, careful not to stain your sleeves, and pop one into your mouth. It bursts sweet and tart at once, the taste of the Shire in early summer. You collect a handful more, tucking them gently into your basket. They'll go well with cream at supper. A few more steps, and the land opens wide. The meadows stretch toward Bywater, dotted with buttercups that nod lazily in the wind. The hills beyond rise soft and green, their folds deepening in shadow where the sun hasn't yet reached. You can almost hear the hum of the growing day, that subtle, living rhythm that's more felt than heard. The pulse of insects, the rustle of grass, the distant bleat of sheep. As you walk, you think how odd it is that some folk hurry through such mornings. To you, this slow pace feels right, the world greeting you in its own time. Every step through the meadow brings new scents, damp earth, clover, the faint sweetness of hay from a distant barn. You stop once more by a small stream cutting through the field. The water is clear and quick, flashing silver as it skips over pebbles. You kneel, dip your fingers in, and feel the coolness slide through them like silk. On the far bank, you notice a patch of wild strawberries, their small red faces bright against the green. You can't resist. The berries are smaller than the ones from your garden, but their taste is sharper, truer. You fill a corner of your basket, and as you do, a dragonfly lands nearby, its wings trembling with light. The forest edge grows nearer. The line of trees looms darker now, their trunks rising in quiet ranks. Woody Green awaits. The air changes as soon as you step beneath the first arching boughs of Woody Green. It feels thicker here, cooler, scented with moss and sap and something ancient. The sunlight filters through the canopy in moving patterns, dappling the ground with shifting gold. Every step you take stirs the smell of leaf mold and old rain. You pause, letting your eyes adjust to the shade. Birds call from unseen branches, warblers, finches, one shrill jay in the distance. Somewhere nearby, a squirrel scolds sharply before darting up a trunk and vanishing. The path underfoot is soft, cushioned by years of fallen leaves. Your boots sink slightly into it with each step. You follow a faint trail that winds between tall oaks and beeches. Here and there, roots cross your way, twisted and gnarled like sleeping serpents. Woody Green has always felt different from other forests. Older, perhaps, or simply wiser. The air hums faintly, not with sound exactly, but with presence. You remember the stories told by your uncle, of elves who once passed through here on moonlit nights, singing songs that made the trees lean closer to listen. You smile at the thought. Further in, the light grows dimmer. Shafts of gold fall through breaks in the canopy, catching on dust motes that drift like slow snow. You stop near a fallen log, its surface soft with moss, and notice the first mushrooms of the day. They're small and white, their caps smooth as eggshell. You kneel, brush away a bit of soil, and cut them cleanly at the stem. The scent rises, rich and earthy, almost sweet. Into the basket they go, laid gently on the cloth. You wander deeper, each step accompanied by the quiet crackle of leaves. The forest is alive with small sounds. A woodpecker somewhere tapping rhythmically, the faint buzz of a bee exploring a patch of clover by a stream. The hush between those sounds is deep and comforting. A fallen branch overhead shelters a cluster of toadstools, red-capped, white-spotted, lovely, but not for eating. You admire them anyway, the way they glow faintly in the half-light like painted lanterns. As you continue, the scent of damp wood thickens. The air cools further, the world narrowing to green and gold and shadow. Your basket is heavier now, and you feel the quiet satisfaction of simple purpose, the day unfolding in its own gentle rhythm, and you moving with it. The forest deepens as you wander on, the canopy closing above like a great green roof. You can feel the hush of the place wrap gently around you. The air is soft with drifting pollen, and the damp earth gives off that deep, living scent of roots and rain. You find a small hollow where the light is thin and the ground dips slightly. Mushrooms love this kind of place, and sure enough, they're everywhere. Clusters of pale caps rise from the soil, some tall and proud, others small and curled like sleeping ears. You kneel, brush aside the leaves, and begin your work. Each mushroom feels cool and velvety in your hand. You slice them carefully at the base, stacking them with the stems aligned, a small ritual of quiet satisfaction. A robin lands nearby, curious, its head cocked as if to watch what you're doing. Its bright eye catches the light before it hops closer, then darts away again into the underbrush. The more you look, the more you find. Some golden tinted, some brown and thick stemmed, and one or two delicate white ones that you'll dry for soups come winter. The forest floor gives its gifts freely today. When your basket is nearly half full, you stand and stretch, breathing in deeply. The scent of earth and moss fills your chest, grounding you. You notice another patch of berries nearby, small blue ones tucked under a low fern. You pluck a few, and they stain your fingertips a soft violet. Their taste is sharp but kind. You hum softly to yourself as you work, the melody faint and tuneless but pleasant, mingling with the gentle sounds of the forest. You wander along a trickling stream, its surface glinting in dappled light. The water murmurs against the stones, whispering secrets of the hills above. Here and there, mushrooms grow along the roots that dip into the water, some too damp to keep, but lovely to see. A frog plops into the shallows as you pass, leaving behind a circle of ripples that widen, shimmer, then fade. The forest feels alive, yet unhurried, as though it breathes alongside you. You follow the stream until it opens into a small glade, a patch of sunlight spilling down like warm honey through the branches. You step into it, blinking at the sudden brightness. It feels good on your face, this gentle warmth after the cool dim of the trees. In the grass, something stirs. You crouch low, moving quietly, and see a small hedgehog nosing through a patch of fallen leaves. Its tiny paws pat the ground, and its nose twitches as it searches for breakfast. You stay still, letting it sense your presence. After a pause, it decides you're no threat and continues about its work, snuffling contentedly. A squirrel appears next, chattering softly as it scampers down a trunk. It pauses to watch you, tail flicking, before bounding across the glade and up another tree in 2 quick leaps. You smile. Then, a soft rustle above, and you glance up to see a tawny owl, round and solemn, half hidden among the branches. Its eyes blink slowly at you, as if recognizing a familiar guest. The stillness between you feels ancient and calm. The sounds of the forest fold around you. Bird calls, the sigh of wind in the leaves, the quiet rustle of unseen things. You sink down onto a fallen log and rest for a while, hands resting on your basket. You feel the texture of the wood beneath your palms, rough with moss and lichen, and the sunlight patterns that flicker on your sleeves. It is a kind of peace that asks for nothing. When you rise again, you move softly through the undergrowth, and the creatures watch you go. The owl's head turns, following your path, before it melts again into stillness. The forest deepens once more, and the path narrows to a winding thread between ancient oaks. You notice that the air has changed. There's a faint shimmer to it, as though the light itself is singing. You stop, holding your breath, and then you hear it. Music, soft and distant, woven through the trees like mist. It's not a tune you recognize, but it feels familiar all the same, as if you've heard it long ago in a dream. The notes seem to move with the wind, light and clear, echoing off the bark and leaves. You step forward slowly. The trees open to a small clearing where the path bends toward the west. There, crossing through the dappled light, are elves. They move in silence, their cloaks the color of leaves and sky, their steps barely touching the ground. Their faces are calm and distant, lit by something soft and enduring. A few carry small packs. One leads a grey horse with a mane like starlight. You realize they are passing westward, toward the grey havens. You stand quietly by the trees, not wanting to intrude. One of them glances toward you and smiles, a smile that feels like sunlight breaking through morning fog. You bow your head, and the elf inclines theirs in return. For a moment, the forest seems to hold its breath. The music fades as they pass, not ending, but moving farther away, like a stream turning out of sight. You watch until the last glimmer of their cloaks vanishes among the trees. The silence that follows is full and kind. The forest exhales. So do you. You walk onward, the air still faintly tinged with their song. The sun has tilted westward now, and the light that filters through woody green is warmer, deeper gold, tinged with amber. The shadows stretch long between the trunks. You find another patch of mushrooms beneath a birch, their caps tinged bronze in the fading light. You kneel again, gathering the last of your harvest. Your fingers are cool and faintly damp from the soil. The basket is full now, heavy with mushrooms and berries, smelling richly of earth. When you rise, you notice movement in the branches above. A family of thrushes is settling in for the evening, fluttering from branch to branch. Their calls are soft and lilting, filling the air with sleepy music. You make your way slowly toward the forest's edge, humming again without realizing it. The path glows where the light touches it, and ahead, you can just see the shimmer of open sky beyond the trees. But before you go, you stop beside a fallen tree, sit down, and reach into your pocket. You draw out your small wooden pipe and a pouch of halfling's leaf, the finest pipeweed from South Farthing. You pack it carefully, light it, and take the first long, slow puff. The smoke curls lazily upward, sweet and mellow, mingling with the scent of moss and pine. You lean back against the tree and let your mind drift. The world feels vast and quiet, the sort of quiet that fills rather than empties. Every sound seems softened. The wind's sigh, the rustle of small creatures in the underbrush, the faint burble of water somewhere behind you. You imagine the elves far along the western road by now, walking beneath the same sky. You smoke until the pipe cools, then tap it gently clean and tuck it away. The forest thins ahead, and soon you step out into the open again. The air feels wider, washed with the colours of evening. Violet sky above the hills, streaked with rose and silver. The meadows are hazy with the last light, the grasses whispering in the breeze. You pause, looking back once at the shadowed woods. Woody green stands quiet and patient, its dark edges glowing faintly in the twilight. You lift your hand in a small, silent farewell. The walk home feels timeless. The stars begin to show, one by one, soft and bright against the deepening blue. A lantern glows in the distance, perhaps a farmer's light, or someone else out late on an errand. Fireflies drift along the hedge, their glow pulsing gently. Your basket swings lightly from your arm, fragrant with the day's gathering. Your feet find the old familiar path, and you follow it as it winds toward Hobbiton's lights. The chimneys sending up small trails of smoke, the windows winking gold in the dark. The air carries the scent of supper fires, bread baking, and the faint sound of laughter carried over the fields. You smile, your heart full of that quiet Shire contentment that has no need for grandeur. As you crest the last hill, your smile comes into view. The round door a warm circle against the hillside, lamplight spilling through its glass panes. You reach it, open it, and step inside. The air smells of home, wood polish, tea, and a hint of lavender from the shelf above the hearth. You set your basket on the table, brush the last bits of dirt from your hands, and take one last look out through the door. The fields lie sleeping now, silver under moonlight. A nightjar calls softly from somewhere near the hedge. You breathe in the cool air, then close the door with a quiet click. The latch settles into place, and another day in the Shire drifts gently to rest. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos.